What's going on, guys? Shameen here. Today I want to talk about why I moved from LA to San Antonio, which is a move that I made in 2021 that I'm definitely glad that I made. So I'm born and raised in LA, mainly grew up in North Redondo, lived in Long Beach for about 5 years, and then I lived in other random parts of LA for a few years, like West LA, Wilshire, Fairfax area, Echo Park, and Koreatown. But I left LA and I left California and moved to San Antonio, Texas in 2021, basically because LA and California is just too expensive. Pretty simple. Um, when I lived in LA, I had roommates the entire time, like from when I moved out of my mom's house to when I moved to Texas. So for what, almost 8 years, the whole time I always had roommates. Like I never had a whole place to myself. It wasn't until I moved to Texas to where I could actually afford to have an apartment by myself. So when I was 30 years old, when I was 30 years old was when I had my first apartment all to myself. So and I moved to Texas sight unseen because I had never even lived in Texas or been in Texas before. But I had done my research on different cities I wanted to move to. Honestly, I wanted to leave LA way sooner than 2021. The problem was that before COVID, it was way harder to get remote work. And so I was always tied to LA because of my job. Like, I worked for a couple different software companies in LA between 2016 to 2019. Then I worked for a couple of marketing agencies in LA from 2019 to 2021. So I was always physically tied to my job. It's just that that last marketing agency I worked for was fully remote after COVID. So once I got that job, I saved some money and basically started making all the arrangements to move out of LA and move to Texas. And so money was a really big factor because I wanted to be able to actually live on my own without roommates. I wanted to be able to save money and like get my finances in order. And I wanted to, um, part of it was also real estate because, uh, like in California, it's way harder to buy property because everything's more expensive. So I knew if I moved to the South, like Texas, I would be able to buy property, or at least that it would be way more realistic. And then there's a few other reasons why I moved. Like number one, I think in general, if you live somewhere your whole life, it's good to live somewhere else, even if it's just temporary, just for that change in life experience or to see something different, experience something different, get out of your comfort zone. For me, at the time, well, I'm it's still the same now. I'm a single bachelor, so it's not like I had like wife and kids tying me down anywhere or like that I had to stay anywhere. So part of it also was just I wanted to change. Like I've been in California, I've been in LA County my entire life. Like why not see something different? Why not move somewhere else? I think another part of it is just like I feel like LA has changed a lot for the worse over the years, not just with how expensive it is, but just like the homelessness. Um, like the homelessness is crazy. Um, the political situation is crazy. It's weird. Um, the traffic. It was several factors where I'm just like, yeah, why not go somewhere different? And I chose San Antonio out of the different cities in Texas because it's like more low key. It's a smaller city than like Dallas and Houston, and then Austin is like wannabe California within Texas, so I didn't want to go there. Like I'm not leaving California to go to like California Junior or whatever. Um, I think part of it is also the fact that it's like being used to being in a big city, which is like the chaos and activity and the people and the parking and the traffic and just everything. I wanted somewhere that was a little bit slower paced, a little bit more chill. Like, I don't need a bunch of excitement in my life. I seen plenty of excitement when I lived in LA, different times in my life. Now I'm ready for like boring, chill, relaxed. So that was another reason why I moved to San Antonio, but also, um, it's a growing city. I pretty much moved downtown or immediately in right outside the downtown area. So there was still plenty of things to do, um, but it was a very nice change of pace from what I was used to. I think everybody in general in life can use a change of pace at some point, especially when you're like a young adult that's been in one area your whole life. You know, it's good to see different places because worst case scenario, if I hate living in other places, I could always move back to LA. Though I don't see myself moving back to live in LA anytime soon, because it doesn't align with my goals. But that's pretty much the reasons why I moved from LA to San Antonio in 2021. And I remember it was like right before my 30th birthday. I was having dinner with my mom and my sister, and I was telling them like, "Yo, like I'm getting ready to leave LA and leave California. Like, I'm out of here. Like, trust me. Like, I gotta start making some changes." And that's pretty much what I did. So I'm glad that I made the move. Uh, I don't necessarily miss living in LA at all, other than maybe the weather. I do miss Long Beach a little bit. That's probably my favorite place that I lived in LA, and I think that's more because of like my friends and the community I had there. Um, just really cool people that I lived around. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that I left because I can always go back, but now I've actually had a chance to see other places and live other places. And I accomplished some of the goals, like some of my personal goals that I had for myself when I left. So I definitely can't complain. So that's pretty much why I left LA. I had also written a couple articles about Los Angeles in particular and California in general back in like 2019, between 2018 to 2020. I had written a couple articles about my issues with LA. So like I wanted to leave for a while. I wanted to leave for years, but I was just stuck there because of work. But then once I was able to work remote, I was out of there. And if anything, I would have left sooner, but hey, it is what it is. LA is still a great place with like a lot of opportunities, a lot of potential. It's a beautiful place, but it's definitely just not the place for me to live anymore. So that's my story. You can comment below what you think, what your thoughts are. Um, Comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys next time.